Van Wert, aka Robot, and I'm going to be showing you an excellent song by Mozart. It's called Turkish March. I'm going to take you through every step, and I've arranged the song so you don't have to play it fingerstyle, classical guitar, or anything crazy like that, because I can't. But it's going to be lots of fun because it's a great workout for your technique, for a lot of different aspects. I give a lot of students this type of thing to play instead of exercises because it's musical and it's fun. So I won't bore you with any more of this, and we'll get right down to it in the lesson. We're going to start off with the main motif, what the people usually will hear and associate it with this specific song, Turkish March. And it just goes like this. And that's going to be in B flat minor. So we're right there at this point. And it's an easy little lick here. I palm mute it. If you wanted to play it wide open, like, that sounds okay, but it's a little bit better if you go. Cuts it real short, nice staccato percussive sound. And essentially you're doing a call and response with the same lick, just transposed. So you're going to start it off up on the 5th fret with your pinky on the G string going. Oops. And then you play the index on the B like that. So. Alright, and then the second time you're going to take it down a half step, but you're going to move it up to the B and E strings. So that's it. That's your first little part of the lick. Alright, second section for this little lick here, the first whole part, the motif, you're going to go right to this. And it's a chromatic little part there. It starts up on the B string on the 7th fret. And that's it. When you hear the song, a lot of people have trouble with this where they'll hear it where it goes. That's what they're hearing in their head, but it's actually not what's going on. It goes only once. Then that's what repeats, okay? So the first section on the B string, that's it for that. And then you go up to the next part on the E string where you're going 8, 6, 5, 6, 8, 6, 5, 6, pinky up to the 9th fret on the E. Now you could stretch it like I'm doing right there because I'm doing it slow, but normally, so it's like, yeah, I guess I stretch it. You could slide up to it, that's fine. All right, next section, we're going to slide up to a new position. It's going to go like this. All right, now this is very tricky for most people at a higher speed because you're not doing something that's common on a guitar. You're kind of doing this little, almost a galloping, very fast spurt of notes. It's actually even harder for me to do it slow. It's like if I was just going to go, oops. It's a little bit easier than going. All right, so this whole section right there again, you go. Oops. All right, so the whole thing. All right, so that again. So you want to slide up because you're going to be down here hitting the pinky. You got to slide up to that kind of. So that's all on the B string. All right, and now you're going to repeat that. It goes through the whole first section there, the motif twice. So it's and now don't forget, I'm still on the B when I go down to that note right there. It's just a half step slide, so it's right there. And then there's your end note for that little thing right there. And now we have the next part we're going to get into, where it sounds more like major. We're still in the same set of notes, essentially. I know there's a little harmonic minor in what we were doing there, but it's still essentially, you just think of it as that B flat minor. Now we're going up to more of the sound of the relative major on D flat. So it's going to go. And I threw that note in because I thought it sounded nice instead of just letting the rhythm part do it, to get it on the lead because it keeps your hands going, and plus you get to practice a string skip. All right, so. And that's going to be covered on the G and also the B and the A. So here's this slower, right, like this. And now we're going to take that and we're going to just basically move down the same type of pattern, a whole step down. So it goes. So now we're doing a little bit of a different pattern, but it's the same type of sound in part. So it's almost like a call and response like we did earlier, except for it's moving down a whole step. So again. All right, and I do subtle variations on these things, and I could show you them quickly, what they are. For the first one, where you're going, sometimes what I'll do is I'll do the ending portion of the note as a run. So I'll go. Now to do that, you're going to be playing up here on the 9th fret like this, and you go. It's only one note on the E string. So you could start it with a down pick like I do, because I'm just used to that. I don't really think about my picking direction much, but a lot of alternate pickers will. So whatever's more comfortable for you, but you want to go. All right. So again, the whole thing. So it's ba-da-da-da-da-da. So it's triplets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the 1, 7. Okay, so now another way for economy pickers, it might be a little bit easier. Instead of going, you could play this. So that's this way. Same lick, just a different way to play it. So both ways. Oops. Or whatever's easier for your picking style. It's the exact same part either way. Or you could just stick to the basic section and not worry about that, where it just goes. And then it goes down. Now there's the only change I do there. I start double picking that. So instead of going, I'll go. So. And that end note, every once in a while I'll do a bend too. So. And I'm bending from the 8th fret of the D string. So that'd be like a... Trick is you got to slide that down quick and get it back. And it's real tough to do that up at 160 beats per minute. I managed to do it. It's a little bit sloppy at times. So if you can't fit that bend in and shift down without making a bunch of noise with open strings, then don't worry about it. Again, you can just play this very straightforward and still very cool, great exercise to do. And then we go back to the main part again and repeat it. However, as we get through this one, it's going to switch up to where we're going more to a harmonic minor. I'll show you the difference. If you remember the beginning, it's going to sound like this. Now, before we were going percussive and stopping. Now we're going holding it out. And then we go. And then the end lick where it goes. Or I'll show you two different variations besides the chords like that. So for this section here, just remember that first part again, where you go through the beginning. That's all the same, except you're holding that note out up there on the 9th fret. And then instead of going, instead of doing that, we're doing a whole different thing here. So it goes. All right. Slide up with your pinky on the B string. Is the proper way to do it. However, I have the variations and I'll show you those now. But before I get to that, you want to realize that this part up here, most players would just legato, hammer on, and pull off that. They would go, oops, like that. However, I pick it because I like that percussive sound, especially if I'm getting a good palm mute in there. All right, that's the first way. Second way, where you just play chords, and I do all three of these in the song, so you hear them, they're in the tab. So for that, the first chord is just these two as a triad. Major triad, right there on the D flat. Next one I'm doing right across here, which would be an F major, but I'm not hitting the bass note, I'm just hitting these three. All right, and then the last one is just a 5 chord on the A sharp, B flat. So we got just once. So those are the first two variations. The way it goes, oops, that one, and then the last variation that I like to do is a little bit tricky. Again, it's like the way we did this A thing up here where we went with the triplets, except for now it's going to be down here. So we got... All right, so... So slow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we shift positions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Natural 7 up to the root. So those are the 3 different variations. You could do that. Then we're just going to repeat that section we did again. Now, we were obviously just picking that earlier. You could bend into it from the 8th fret into the 9 with a bend. That's fine. You could do it any way you want. I just happen to bend sometimes. When it gets quick, it's a little hard. And then you go again, whichever lick you want to do there. And then we get to the next section.